Hello and welcome back to another episode of my Ride 5 career mode, and today we're here for the next event in the career mode, and it is the Japan EM750 Cup. So I guess it is endurance modified bikes in Japan, obviously the 750cc. So it looks like we've got to go to Suzuka, Okayama, Autopolis and Sugo. So two new tracks on there for me. Obviously I have been to Suzuka and Sugo plenty of times in the past, but Okayama and Autopolis, I believe Autopolis is completely new to Ride 5, so that I basically wouldn't have counted that at all. Okayama I may have done previously, but it doesn't particularly stick in my mind. But we did actually win a CBR 1000 in the last episode, but of course we're not going to be able to use that in this because it is a 750 championship and it seems to be 80s bikes. So I think we're going to actually have to buy a new bike for this one, which will be quite interesting because that's the first time we've had to do that, because every other time we've been given a bike that is then eligible for the next set of events. So actually, as it turns out, I was wrong. Maybe I've just not read the screen at all. Maybe it had told me that already. But it seems like we're being given a bike here. So we've got to go on a 750 Honda. So the one that was in the picture. Seems like everybody is on that. If we look at the starting grid, yes, everybody is on that. Except somebody seems to have... Yeah, some of them do seem to have more... Oh, some of them are on 88s, but... Oh, I'm on an 88 as well. It's because this isn't my bike. I've just been put on it. So I'm not sure exactly. It didn't let me pick. It just put me straight into it. Usually it lets you pick your bike first. So... we'll go on the soft tyres because that actually worked really well in the last episode. And we'll just head straight into it because I've never ridden this bike before. I don't think we have this bike. I think we've just been given it for this championship. So this time not being shown our rival, which is a bit of a change. And here we go, we can hear. It sound like two strokes to me, so it's probably what is going on. The lights are on then. The lights out and away we go. Yeah, they're definitely two strokes. You can tell by the power band. But some of the AI have had fantastic starts there. And if they're beating me because they're on better bikes, then... that's not fair because I didn't even get to pick my bike. I just got put on this, and we keep bashing the same guy out of the way. We're being hit ourselves, and someone's down. So one day I just run to the side of me and went down. But to be honest, so far it's been a disaster. We're down in P14, P15 now. The bike is understeering. It's going to take me a while to get used to this. Obviously we're used to the 2.0. I remember actually last time we had to ride a two-stroke, we did struggle quite a lot. So potentially just the AI are pretty good on the two-strokes in these games, or in this game anyway. Oh, it's Suzuka short as well. It's not even the long Suzuka, so I was thinking that we have plenty of time to get back through, but we've literally dropped down to 19th place now. So we're literally only in front of the rider that's fell off. So this has been absolutely awful, but the AI could just turn so much better than me. That was, yeah, a pretty bad start there, to be quite honest. I don't think we're going to get back up into the points. I think we are going to struggle quite a bit here. But on the brakes into turn one then. Oh, almost hitting that rider there. We've gone off the track as well. This is just going, this is disastrous. It's just not working out at all. We're hitting that guy out of the way. We're just pushing him through to get past the others. But it just doesn't turn in, this bike. It just doesn't have any kind of natural turning at all. And we've just been knocked off as well. But to be honest, it doesn't make much difference because we're already at the back anyway. We're completely last now. But this bike is awful. It's absolutely horrible to ride. Just doesn't turn in. Can't get the direction to change. And the AI just riding underneath me. It looks like we're going to finish last in this first event on it. It's better not being in the pack, but even still, it just still doesn't feel very good, I must say. And we're 11 seconds down, like we've lost a lot of time to the leaders, even without the crash. So there we go then, what a disaster. We can at least compare the lap time if we scroll down towards the bottom. 52s for the AI, what have I done? I mean, I only did one good lap, and it was on the last lap, and I can't say it particularly was that good. 52.6, so we're in the realm of the pace of the leaders, but even still, absolutely nowhere. And it seems like some guys are on Yamahas, some are on Hondas and stuff, but I didn't get to pick. It just put me on this Honda. I didn't pick this bike, so I'm going to see maybe whether I can go find this bike in my garage and upgrade it, because it seems like it isn't just a one-make thing, which I kind of expected it to be once it just put me on it without me picking it. So we got one World Tour point for that one, so not ideal. And we actually still got some credits for that. We got 160 credits, but I guess that probably wouldn't even cover the tyres. So next up, we've finally got an endurance race, actually 20 minutes with tyre wear at Okayama, although it seems to be a short variant. It also seems like the bike is just predetermined for every race, so it doesn't look like we are going to be able to go and upgrade it, but we may as well get straight into this one then. Our first endurance race on Ride 5 should be pretty interesting. So here we are then, down on the grid. We're going to have to run to the bikes as a proper endurance start. I've just realised as well, I put myself on soft tyres, just kind of automatically. Well, I just left it on soft tyres from previously. And of course, we've got tyre wear on for this race, so that's actually going to change things quite a bit. There's a bit of a low frame rate in this cutscene, although now it seems to return to normal, which is lovely. And our AI has got a bad start, so I couldn't even make the most of a good start there, which is a bit of a shame. We're now in control very abruptly, and we've got to try and make our way through and learn the track at the same time. What is this? It's like through a service road. It's literally not even part of the track. There we go, kind of barged our way through somebody else. So up into, I don't know what position we're in now, P9. Trying to look at all the UI elements because there's lots of things to look at. I don't know, I'm trying to find where the fuel is because obviously I don't want to run out of fuel. It's in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Okay, got it. And we've just ran massively wide there, which definitely gave up a couple of spots. So literally the two places we've made on this like contact with the number 5. We'll try and sweep around the outside. We've not been able to do it. So really, by me trying to find my fuel, I've lost the 2 places that I've made up on this lap. Although we're about to make up another one. So there we go. We're back up now into P10. So we're doing a bit better than we were in the last one, but it just doesn't seem like this championship is going to work very well for us. If the AI are as bad into the pits as they are in the MotoGP game, we actually might stumble to win just with the pit stop. So there we go then, trying to go around the outside. Up into P8, so it seems like we are doing a lot better in this one. It seems like we got a bit kind of mugged at the start of Suzuka and obviously knocked off. It didn't go very well, but it seems like the pace is much more on it here. And we've got slightly, probably higher fuel consumption than the leaders, but only by like 1%, so I think we should be okay. And round the outside our contact with that rider on the brakes. And are we still going to make a double overtake here? Going to try and pick up the power as early as possible. Yes, we are. And I must say this bike feels much better at this circuit, so just didn't seem suited to Suzuka. I think it is Suzuka's just so much on the edge of the tyre, which is, in the MotoGP games, always an AI strong suit. And probably the same thing here too. That basically resulted in us getting punted to the back. Here we go then. Can we make a pass into the service road at the inside? He's tried to turn on us, but there was a bit of contact because he did turn in. And there we go, we're through. You've got to be careful the way you change direction on these bikes, so that's for sure. It is difficult to actually get them turned in. You can see the leader is absolutely checked out in this race as well, by the way. And it seems a bit unfair if some of the AI have been given better bikes, but it actually does seem like most people are on Hondas in this one, so it does make me wonder whether the last one was bugged and they were all supposed to be on Hondas and for some reason they weren't, and maybe that's why we were at such a disadvantage. But either way, I'm much happier now being towards the front. Got the inside we go, it's turn 1, are we going to pull it off, side by side? Oh, she's trying to hang it through. We've done it, we're up into P4. So next up then, Erica Muster, another Austrian, and then Felix Bishop, remember her from the previous championship. If we look on the right hand side, our front tyre is starting to go off now, which isn't great because we've actually still got a lot of fuel on board, so we might have to make pit stops for tyres more than fuel. That could be why we're so fast. It could be that we're on the soft tyres, everybody else on the mediums, because I just picked soft so they just remembered afterwards that we had tyre wear on now, and probably my style doesn't exactly save the tyres, especially with the way I'm trying to brake late and screw off the corners. That time didn't do that too well because I was in the wrong gear because I'd hit her at the back. So maybe I should just try and sit tight here a little bit and look after the tyres, because the leader, we're not catching her or him, whoever, it's Adam, so yeah, we're not catching up to the leader because he's miles up the road, but second place is prime for the taking if we just sit here and take our time. Here we go towards the last corner, we're trying to go around the outside through the last turn, bit of contact. Don't think we're able to do it, although actually Felix Bishop hasn't quite got the drive that we have. And in the slipstream down towards turn 1, we might be able to get him, and that'll put us up into P2. Does indeed. But the leader is 4 seconds up the road. I mean, it is an endurance race, so potentially we could catch that up, because usually, you know, you'd be sort of, well, I'd be done the race a few laps ago at this point. The longest race we've done is 3 laps so far, and Felix Bishop just bashed us out of the way there. I mean, I think I've made a bit of a mistake, so I was looking at the gap, so keep my eyes on the road. But yeah, I think it's going to be difficult for us to gain 5 seconds back, but more doable than in a normal race, definitely. Thing is, right, I think we're just about going to have to do a pit stop in this race. I mean, the tyres definitely, but for the fuel, we're just about. So I think that is saving us, because I was thinking that if I don't have to do a tyre, like a pit stop for the fuel, I'm screwed, because I'm going to have to do one for the tyres. But we're only just over 50%, and there's more than that left of the race, I would say. It's good, it's fine, but yeah, I think we are going to have to make a pit stop for the fuel, definitely. And obviously it will be towards the end, but I'll probably pit as early as possible to try and get the benefit of the fresher tyres. Because obviously I don't want to be going around on a dead set of tyres for too long. And then also, maybe I could try and do a bit of an undercut on the guy in front. But to be honest, I don't really want to pit until I've seen at least an AI go in, because I don't want to be like the only one that pits or something, or does the strategy wrong. I've just seen the tyres that he's on as well. He's on softs, the guy in front, so maybe we haven't made the wrong choice after all. But we are reeling him in now. We're only 4 seconds behind, whereas we were 5 before. So even with the tyre wear, we are still lapping quicker than everybody else. So I have just realised that we're actually we're in the full power map currently. I've just turned it down to eco. So maybe we could try and bring a bit of fuel back, because we're in a bit of a mess with it currently. I don't know how much lap time it's going to cost me, but I just feel like I want to get more on par with other AI. Although, to be fair, I think we're all going to struggle to make it to the end. I'm getting very concerned that none of the AI are going to pit, because we're getting quite far into this race now. We're over halfway through. I mean, they all seem to have a bit more fuel than I do as well, which isn't great. I'm trying to sort of save it back, but I'm about 5% off of them, which obviously is about a lap's worth, so that does make a difference. Well, my front tyre's on 0% now. It doesn't feel too bad. We've saved a lot of fuel. We're on par with the leader now, so I mean, I think I was like maybe just 1% ahead of him. I think like I'm slightly ahead, but it's telling me to make a pit stop now. But there's 3 minutes to go in the race. There's no point making a pit stop with 3 minutes to go. We've got 9% of fuel left, same as the race leader. So maybe we've made a big mistake, me and him. But I think I might be able to save enough just to make it to the end. But it's going to be tough. I mean, I might have to wave Erica through and just sort of coast around his 6th gear, but I think I can make it because you can see there's a big gap really to the riders behind. If I knew how much time it costs to take a pit stop, I'd probably do one. There is some AI in the pits. Some are pitting now, so I mean, whether we're supposed to pit with a couple of laps to go then here, I'm not too sure. If Adam pits, maybe I'll follow him in. Yeah, Adam's in the pits. Tell you what, we'll carry on for one more lap, and we'll see if Erica pits too. Erica is pitting, so yeah, I'll carry on for one more lap then, because we should make it round, and then we should be fine. Because I was just thinking that AI just weren't going to pit, but really, I mean, it's much like if I'd known from the start, I would have just saved the fuel enough to not do a pit stop. Like if I'd used the eco mode from the beginning, I definitely would have enough fuel to do a pit stop. I think we only just have enough to make it around this lap, you know. But it's fine because if we have to coast into the pits, it's not too bad. I could do that. Because there's a couple of AI that have chanced it, so we'll see. We'll see how much time they lose, but we should just about make it to the pit lane, which is obviously ideal. I thought we'd run out then. I picked up the power and nothing happened, but there was still 2% left, so definitely shouldn't be happening. It's definitely, I think the bike is misfiring now because of the lack of fuel. Yeah, it seems like I've lost fuel, so we should just make it into the pits here. Yeah, into autopilot mode. We've got 1% fuel left, so if I run out with that, that's not really fair if you ask me, because I've made sure that there is enough fuel in the bike to make it to the pits. We may lose second place here, but it will be interesting. Yeah, we'll choose soft, but allow the fuel to fill itself up. Come on, make the pit stop quick, guys. There's only 30 seconds left in the race, so to be honest, once we cross the line, we may very well... Oh, we've been jumped already by Adam. That's bad. Adam and Erica jumped us because I just let way too much fuel go into the bike, basically. Are we going to come out ahead of Felix Bishop? We are. He was actually pitting behind us. So they all seem to put 100% fuel in, but we lost a ridiculous amount of time on that in-lap, really. I guess it was all in the pit lane because we sort of ran out of fuel, unfortunately. But that irks me slightly, that does, because we had enough fuel left. And to be honest, if I knew all the AI were going to pit at the end, I'd have pitted a long, long time ago and got some fresh tyres on and just gone flat out to the end rather than having to coast it in. But either way, we've lost one spot. Oh, almost losing 2. But 3rd place, I'll take that. We probably could have won this race had things been a bit differently. We picked up a penalty somewhere. Maybe it's from going into the pit lane. I'm not too sure. Probably went in wrong. But I don't know whether we're got to do one more lap or whether that's it. It says final lap. I don't know if that means I'm about to start my final lap or whether I'm actually onto my final lap. But I tell you what, we actually didn't lose that much time on this lap from doing a pit stop. But yeah, that's a shame. That is a shame because if I knew that AI were going to pit right at the end, I absolutely would have done. I know now, though, for the next endurance, that actually we could very well make it round without pitting, which obviously would win us the race, regardless of the performance that we do. So there we go then in the end. P3 in that one. It probably should have been P2, but to be quite honest, we got a bit messed about by that one, in fairness. It didn't really go the way it should have done because we lost so much time on the in-lap. I mean, I'm just annoyed that we ran out, really. Obviously, we still had some in, but the bike started misfiring. We still had 1% left. So for me, you shouldn't be running out until you get 0%, but perhaps that's just a difference of opinion. Of course, we lost in a lot of time in the pit lane, and we didn't actually fill up as much of the AI because obviously we knew there was literally a minute of the race to go. But unfortunately, it was enough for us to lose a decent chunk of time to the leaders. But fortunately, the lead that we built up before meant that we were still able to finish on the podium. So we've unlocked then an R7, an endurance modified R7 already, after only doing 2 events so far. So considering that we did really, really badly in the first one, that's pretty decent. We obviously did well in that one. So there we go, that's that event done then. The next one is Autopolis, but it is a time trial this time, so it'll be a lot shorter than the previous one. And then, of course, we've got a Sugo endurance race, which, of course, I'll now know how to handle a lot better. Obviously, previously, I had no idea. I'd never done endurance before, but now I know how to sort of handle it properly. And with it being 20 minutes as well, I think we'll be fine. So here we are then at Autopolis. This time, of course, we're on a different bike. We're on the Suzuki for the next two events. Autopolis, completely new to the Ride franchise as far as I'm aware. A track I don't think I've ever come across, so it'll be interesting to see how we find our way around this track. And of course, we've got to do a good lap time on our very first attempt, which is going to probably be difficult. 1 minute 13 though, very short circuit, so hopefully does allow us to maybe make the most of it. I tell you what, this bike feels much more punchy already, although in fairness, I suppose I was riding around in the low power mode in the previous race for save fuel. Whoa, the front is skating away through there. Oh, we opened the power too early. That kind of has cost us because we had to brake then. Tell you what, this is quite an enjoyable circuit, it must be said. We're coming through the last turn, well, the last sort of couple of turns, 1 minute 1. Can we make it to the line? I think we're going to make it to the line quite easily, I would say, although it is a long way up the straight. So I'll be interested to see if we can beat the lap time. Maybe we're going to be slightly wrong here, but I think we're probably going to be able to do it. Yes, we did a 1 minute 11 there, so we easily achieved that one, actually, considering that the lap wasn't that great. I ran wide in a few places. Like I said, I did have to brake a little bit, but I tell you what, Autopolis gets a thumbs up from me. That was a pretty fun circuit, and the bike feels a bit better than the Honda as well. So then here we are then, the last event of this series of events, I guess you'd say, and we've got another endurance at Sugo. So I'm going to probably handle it a bit differently to the last one, probably going to save the fuel from the beginning and avoid the pit stop entirely, because that just seems like a fun way to try and win the race, if you ask me. And also it guarantees us, maybe if we're out front winning, perhaps I'll just do a stop. But if we're struggling and we're a bit behind like we were in the previous endurance race, I think I might spice things up a little bit by staying out. But without any further ado, let's get into this Sugo endurance race. So I think I'm going to go medium this time for the endurance. I'm going to go on those soft tyres like we did previously. And of course we're going to get another running start. Hopefully the AI gets a bit of a better start than it did last time. It didn't get the best start off the line and we had to do a little bit of work to make our way back up. But I guess it is scripted to an extent to make you have to do a little bit of work. Like, it is a bit annoying that you have to start 10th every time, but it does make the races interesting, because if you started first, obviously it would be really boring, or if you started last, it'd be a bit too difficult. There's been a crash already! A couple of riders down in the auto drive section. So there you go then, we're already up to 5th place. We've actually gained 5 spots, so yes, the rider did have a good start. We're about to lose another one though, to the Honda, ironically enough. And we're trying to get back up the inside. That was sketchy, that was hella sketchy, and unfortunately, well, I was about to say unfortunately we've been overtaken, but we have actually managed to stay in front of that other guy, so fair play. And Sugo, it is a circuit I do know very well, so this time I haven't got to learn the track at all. I'm just going to go for it from the start. I'm going to see how we get on, because I'm going to try the no-stop strategy, because I reckon you can make the fuel last 20 minutes. I mean, I very nearly did it by doing the full fuel load for most of the race, so if I go rain for the entire race, well, I guess that's going to happen. Maybe we do need to go up the order a bit more. Probably need to make some more gaps to the other riders. And unfortunately, it is actually the chicane variant of Sugo, which I believe is the correct bike layout, but it's actually horrible. Like, the chicane is awful. It's way better when you actually take the curve onto the straight, so that's unfortunate. I do like the rest of the track, but that part I do not like at all. And so far, we're being dropped a little bit, so I'll tell you what, I think going up into full fuel load was worth it, and we need to try and sort of take advantage and try and catch back up to these guys. So here we go around the outside of Page Marsh, up into P6, so fair enough, good pass there on our fellow Brit. We've got Spaniard Rosa in front of us, then we've got Renato Conti. Right, I've gone into eco mode again now because our fuel is worse than the leaders. Even though we did a lap in eco already, our fuel is worse. So it seems like the players' fuel consumption is just worse than the AI's, which is fantastic. And unfortunately, look how much time we're going to lose. I don't even know if it's worth it. Flynn Taylor's flown past us. Page Marsh is still behind. If I could try and maybe use a slipstream of some of the faster riders ahead, maybe actually using this fuel mode might be worth it. Because like I said, if I do one less pit stop, which to be honest at the moment seems like the better strategy based on the position that we're mired in, it should give us the race win. So I'm trying to go around the outside of Flynn Taylor here. Could be a bit close. He's managed to keep the position for now. But again, we're kind of hassling him. So when we're not on the longer straights, the eco mode doesn't really slow us down. I think just my sort of riding style kind of actually worked for the eco because I'm so aggressive on the throttle anyway. We've just hit him at the back, so maybe calm down the aggression just a touch. And we've only got Kang Wu a tenth of a second behind us, so he'll probably blast us on this straight, I would imagine. Although, it doesn't seem like it, so potentially maybe it's not even the eco mode that's costing us. It might be the fact that the other bikes ahead of us are just better. But we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. It seems like through the corners, at least, we do have enough pace to keep up with the faster guys. Looks like Rento Conti's actually on the same bike as us. I think he's also on the Suzuki, so that's probably why we're not losing quite as much to him on the straight. So, to be fair, the eco mode probably isn't done us too bad. Like I said, if it's going to gain us a whole pit stop's worth of time, it's definitely worth doing, because we're already 5 minutes into the race, so we're a quarter race distance already. It does actually annoy me a little bit that the player's fuel is not next to the player's name also. It would be much easier when I'm just trying to look at the fuel to compare, whereas I have to actually look away again to the bottom right to look at my fuel, and the AI's is right there, so it'd be better if they were all together, to be honest. Up the inside, though, of Rento Conti. And we're up into P6. Shigeru Izumi in front of us now, so hopefully we can try and catch up to him. We've gained a load of time on him, and all of a sudden we're looking at the inside. Got to force our way through a bit aggressively. But I tell you what, he's hemorrhaged time. I mean, to be fair, we're actually 0.6 under, so maybe I'm just figuring out how to ride this thing a bit better now. He's defended for now, but I think he's vulnerable. I think we'll be able to get him. We've just punted him in the back at the chicane, so it does show that he seems to be struggling a bit. And we've put nearly a second into Kang Wu, who's managed to find his way past Rento as well. Now Rento's really struggling. Try to get out the inside. Can we force it to fit? Not quite. Let's try and hang it around the outside. Shigeru, oh, this just clipped the curb, and that's allowed us through. So we're up into P5 now, so we're actually making progress. And to be honest, our fuel, we're in a much better place than the rest of the AI. I think Kang Wu was the only one that was actually anywhere near us. So I've put the bike into the rain setting now, because actually currently we don't have enough fuel to make it to the end, even with our strategy. To be honest, I thought I was in that setting the whole race. I kind of made a bit of a mistake with that one, so looks like maybe we're a little bit worse off for fuel than we should be, but we could probably bring it back. We could probably bring it back, and it's not too bad. And even if we can't, I think we're still in a good position in this race, and I'll make sure I don't run out of fuel again on the way to the pits this time. Felix Bishop seems to be coming towards us now, so perhaps he started to either save his fuel, or perhaps struggling with his tyres a little bit. You can see we've put over a second into Kang Wu now as well. We're obviously losing a lot of time on the straights, but the slipstream helps, and just being quicker in the corners as well, since I'm just getting more used to this bike the more that I ride it. So the leader's in a bit of trouble with the fuel. She's only on 20% left. Yeah, she's in now, that's why, okay. Makes sense, she's probably going for a more aggressive strategy. A lot of the other AI are in, actually, a couple of them. So I think we've moved up into P3 now. Yes, we have. So Sasaki leads, not Ayumu Sasaki, a different Sasaki, but Sasaki leads then. Bishop second, and myself in third place. And we're all on similar levels of fuel. There's still a few laps maybe to try and save a bit more, but again, I'm not exactly sure how much we're going to need. I don't want to sort of hang myself out to dry here, but just hit Bishop at the back. He's made a bit of a mistake through the hairpin curve, which, again, is a fantastic corner name. They have one at Motegi as well. And for some reason, it's put Rosa back into the lead now. Apparently, she's 29 seconds on the road. Wow, okay, that seems a bit wrong. It seems like it's somehow glitched the game and put her ahead. Maybe when we cross the line, it'll sort of fix itself. But that's not great, because the AI that was miles in the lead now is even further in the lead, has fresh tyres and a full tank of fuel. So, seems a bit unfair. She's actually gained time from pitting. Yep, so second place is into the pits. In fact, we're dropping down the order. It's very bizarre. Is it going to correct itself when we go over the line? Yes, it seems to have done, so that's good then. It's not actually put her ahead. I think it will be right once we actually finish the race at the end. So Felix Bishop actually pulled away from us a little bit there, so he's trying to catch him back up if possible. Unfortunately, I think we are a few % short of actually finishing this race, which isn't ideal. So Felix Bishop's going into the pits now, so that actually puts us into the effective race lead. But I'm really not sure how to play this now, because I was obviously going to stay out, and I was basically been in the eco map for the whole race, and the rain map just to save the fuel. 50% I don't think is enough to make it to the end. I mean, I think it's close, but I don't know. I think we're about 40 seconds short of fuel, which obviously we don't have 40 seconds to give up. If we were in the lead by that much, obviously I could probably roll off and make sure, but yeah, unfortunately, I think we are probably going to have to make a pit stop, which obviously was the whole point of this race, was trying to avoid that. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm about 40 seconds short of fuel, because 10% would be 2 minutes, and we've got 2.5 minutes left of this race. So, we'll see. We'll have to see. Maybe we could just try and... Yeah, it's telling me now to make a pit stop, and basically within the next lap I needed to pit when that came up last time, so unfortunately I think we are going to have to make a pit stop. Right, we're going to have to do a splash and dash because we've got 2% left. It's not going to make us to the end, but I think I'm literally going to put the minimum amount of fuel in that you can just to make sure that we actually do make it. And yeah, you can see we're going way quicker into the pits than we did in the last race, although it is slowing me down a lot. I don't know what it's doing. This could be costing us here. Come on, game. I'm going to not change the tyres. So we're going to skip the tyre change. And we're just going to put a little bit of fuel in the bike. There we go. Stop that on the bike. Can we go? Go, 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 go. We've got 10% of fuel. That's enough to make it to the end. And are we still going to be in the lead of the race? I can hear a bike. Come on. Get me out the pits as quick as you can. And it's not really giving me a very good gap here. I don't know where I'm going either. It's going to rejoin me out of this pit lane here. There we go. We've barely got enough fuel, really. But I think, if we look at the map, I actually don't even know where we are. We're P3. We are just ahead. She is literally right behind us. So we've still got to pick the pace up a little bit. But I think we are actually going to come out in the lead in this one. Because we managed to not change the tyres. So we saved a load of time in the pit stop. Because to be fair, the tyres are actually in better condition than the ones in the last race. And we've actually done the whole race on these. We're going to be on 0% on the rear very shortly, but that doesn't matter at all. We have probably got enough of a gap just to win this one. That's telling me to make a pit stop, but it's fine. I've only got to make it to the end of the lap. I don't know why it keeps putting her back in the lead on the timing screens, but of course, we are going to come through to win. If we could just keep it ahead through this last set of corners, you can see the gap is actually pretty much bang on there behind. But here we are then, up towards the line. We can actually win here at Sugo in the endurance race by literally just doing a quick splash and dash right at the end. And it's... what? Why is it making me do another one? Why is it making me do another lap? The timer was 0. Why have we... Come on. Come on, game. Don't do this to me. Because it put her ahead, it's like glitched and it's made me do one less lap. It's making me do an extra lap and I'm out of fuel. I'm not very happy. I don't know why it's made me do another lap. Like, I don't understand. Because the last time it wasn't 0 seconds plus a lap. It was 0 seconds and that's it. The race is done. Well, I don't know. I really don't know. Why is it only just telling me now that it's the final lap? I think the game is royally bugged out here. Because she's still going around. The time's been on 0 for ages. Like, this is a 20-minute endurance race and we're into minute 24 of it. Well, we're eventually coasting up towards the line, and it seems like for some reason the AI actually go for you in this game. Like literally, like he's weaving towards me when I'm going slow. I don't know whether they're just trying to get my slipstream or something, but yeah, I still don't really understand what happened. I don't get why we had to do like 2 extra laps all of a sudden. Like, we won the race. Like, we should have crossed the line and finished there, and there we go. It's going to put us down in last place, but it's just ridiculous. Like, what even was that? There is an option here to restart pit stop, and to be quite honest, I think I'm going to do it because the game's screwed me over here. So I think I'm going to just put enough fuel in to do 2 laps and then just see how we get on with that one. Right, so here we go. Then we put a bit more fuel in this time. We come out the pits. There is Rosa coming around the corner. So we might actually be still pretty close. You can see here, look, we're on lap 13. The time remaining is 0. I was the leader starting this lap. So I guess this should have been the last lap. I don't really know. Oh, I got contact with her though already. The tyres absolutely feel horrendous, by the way, because they're really cold. But we're still within a chance of winning this one because apparently we have 2 laps, so we do have at least more time to overtake her. I can probably put the power mode back up as well now, which is oh, I'm actually on full power. The game's given me that already. The tyre has no grip though. Doesn't want to handle that full power. I just feel like that last time, when the clock hit 0, it just made the lap you're on with the final lap. Like, I understand the race doesn't end immediately, but surely it ends at the end of the current lap. But obviously that's not the way it works, or it hasn't worked in this race like that. We'll see on this occasion if it does the same thing. I imagine it will. I mean, maybe I've just misunderstood the rules, but even still, I think that's fine, because this is the strategy I was going to do anyway, so I've not gained from it. It's just, I thought I needed enough fuel for 1 lap, because there was only 1 lap to go. But either way then, we have now really got 1 lap to go back to start the final lap of the race. Myself versus Rosa. So it ends that time? What? Why have I been demoted to 3rd? What? Yeah, so actually I was right. So the game did screw me because that time we crossed the line, the race just ends. That's what should have happened the last time. And why am I being put down to 6th place? Why am I keep getting demoted positions for? What is going on? What? Is it because I've been put a lap down as far as the game is concerned or something? I think it's just bugged because of the position that she's in. It thinks she's ahead of me. When, okay, in theory she is then, but you know when we stayed out before it said that she was still ahead of us. For some reason, that bug seems to have made it so that we finished last regardless now. Okay, no, we were 2 minutes 3 behind, even though we were literally right behind her, because we didn't get lapped by her. That's not true. So I'm going to try that again. I'm going to keep doing this until I get the proper result that I deserve, that I fought for, because this is not fair that the game is doing this to me. So I put 2.6 laps of fuel on them this time. 22%, that should be enough to get us round, I would imagine. So hopefully this time we actually come out in front of her, and if we do, then we're going to just try to defend from her. I deserve this. I deserve this race because I actually did win it. I've won it on track already. Come second on track another time once restarted because the game had messed up. And it still gave me like P16 or whatever. But hopefully if we make sure that we're actually over the line first, maybe it'll actually work this time. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. It did at least put us on to lap 14 because, I don't know, it's like as if she's jumped ahead a lap. So she's technically on lap 14, but then it's doing it on race time maybe. So yeah, I think that's what it is, you know. So what we need to do is we just need to complete these 2 laps as quickly as we can. But as long as we beat her over the line, we'll then be on to lap 14. The game considers her on lap 14 here, so we need to basically complete lap 14 quicker than she completed it, or within like the amount of time that we had in hand over her, I guess, because we had a slightly shorter pit stop. I don't really know, to be honest. I'm a bit confused about what exactly is going on here, and it looks like she could very well beat us if we're not careful, but I think we should have her covered. I think we're fine. But my amazing strategy that I was trying to do, when we cross the line here it'll say final lap for me probably, but the thing is, I don't know whether she'll actually have done the race or not. It still hasn't said final lap, and she's definitely finished her lap. So on lap 14, so it does seem broken. It seems absolutely broken. I don't understand what's going on. I've gone into eco because obviously I'm not sure how many laps I'm going to have to do now, and I want to make sure I've got enough, but I don't get it. Like, I don't get what's going on, because we've jumped her in the pit stops is what we've done. We've not put tyres on. That's what we've done effectively, because I was trying to just not pit at all and win that way. But that didn't seem possible. I think it was scripted that you were going to run out of fuel. What I've decided to do then is not change tyres so that we could jump her. And, okay, she has just overtaken us there, in fairness. But can we get her back? Probably not, because we're on dead tyres with no fuel mode, really. Okay, we've gone around the outside of her. We mugged her off. See, we are better, especially when we're not in the rain map anymore. We have to put it up to full power. Should get me to the line first. Use a bit of substitute off Paige Marsh. I mean, if the race isn't over now, I really don't know what to do, because it's just, the race is obviously broken. Oh, she's going to beat me to the line, though. Okay, but now my final lap, you see, is 1 minute 35.0. So, maybe this time, no. It's putting me behind them again, isn't it? I don't think I'm going to bother trying this again, by the way, because it just clearly seems broken. Unless I just knock her off or something. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. So we're back in the menu, and unfortunately we weren't actually able to do that event. I did try it again, well, not the whole thing, I just tried from the last pit stop, and I rode dirty just to keep in front of her. I put more fuel on so that I could do some more laps, and I think I just pushed her off the track and stuff to make sure that I stayed in front. And I stayed in front and the laps just kept going, so unfortunately it was impossible for us to win the event because it couldn't end unless she led over the line, and of course when she did that, it put us down into like P15, as you can see is where we finished. In theory, it might have been possible for us to eventually win the race if I just managed to keep going somehow and caught that time up to the thought she was in front. Maybe, in theory, then we would have been able to win, but it just obviously isn't possible because we wouldn't be able to keep going that many laps. We'd just run out of fuel, and if we filled up all the way, then she'd be too far in front for us to do that, and of course it is. Also a 20-minute race, and you have to keep going forever that way. So yeah, that pretty much does bring this episode of Ride 5 Career Mode to a close. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that one. If you are new to the channel, please do like and subscribe. It really helps me out. And of course, it is a win-win for both of us as you get some more Ride 5 content in your subscription feed. But like I said, I hope you did enjoy that one. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next one.